Hey, folks, thanks so much for checking into the Neutral Zone Hotel. We are an unapologetically left-leaning podcast that explores hockey at its best and at its worst. My name is Benjamin, and I'm welcoming you for the first time to the last episode of this season. Definitely the first time. I didn't screw this intro up twice before. My pronouns are he, him. Him. My pronouns are he, him. I am tongue-tied tonight. And I'm a fan of the Habs and the Charge, and I'm just going to kick it over to SJ before I fuck this up anymore.
I am SJ. My pronouns are they, them, and I am a fan of various Seattle area hockey teams. It's been a rough week in Seattle, but
yeah, it's not been.
Yeah, things are looking up. I think. I don't know. Maybe that's just cope.
And we've also got Trevor here with us.
Hi, everybody. My name's Trevor. My pronouns are he, him. I just had a root canal yesterday, and somehow that hurt less than watching the Vancouver Canucks this past season. And I'm also a fan of the Vancouver Golden Eyes.
They give you drugs for
I'm on
root canal.
T3s right now.
Yeah, they give you drugs for a root canal. They don't give you drugs for the Vancouver Canucks, I'm afraid.
No, that'd be so much more bearable. That's what the Golden Eyes exist for.
You have to buy those on street corners, I think.
For those who are unaware, a T3, because they don't have them in the United States, is acetaminophen. It's acetaminophen laced with 15 grams or milligrams of codeine.
Oh, that sounds like it'd make me puke.
If you puke to codeine, probably.
I mean, the only time I've had Vicodin, it made me puke. So I just kind of.
Vicodin is a lot more potent than codeine.
Might be all right then.
Anyway, folks, this is not a podcast about which morphiates make SJ puke. This is a podcast about hockey, and it is time for our third annual Boy Auction Spectacular. Spectacular.
Ooh.
Beautiful. So this past week, the NHL held its annual draft, and it would be fair to say this is one of the more fluid draft situations we've seen in a long time, with the draft class considered slightly below average, with only a couple real guaranteed can't miss prospects. A lot of these picks were traded. We covered the 4th pick moving last episode. The 9th pick was also moved twice? Question mark? Florida to Ottawa. Yeah.
Twice.
But there were a bunch of other trades, and quite frankly, I don't want to talk about all of them. I am simply going to ask, is there any ones that stood out to either of you?
Like trades-wise?
Trades-wise.
I thought it was interesting that Toronto managed to dump Brandon Carlo's contract. And I thought they managed to get out from underneath that for cheaper than you would think. And I think that I don't understand what St. Louis is doing. Trading. St. Louis also traded for Mason McTavish, which it's real bold of them to take on 2 reclamation projects at once. Yeah, they're certainly busy in St. Louis.
And that's in addition to moving Jordan Kyrou out for Connor McMichael.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, man. And they also moved out Jordan Kyrou. That's right.
Yeah, so I'm
for
not
much less, by the way, than they should have gotten for him.
McMichael, another contract, and a first.
Yeah.
So the Blues did use some of that draft capital. I think they just traded back during the first round. But I want to, first of all, that Brandon Carlo deal, how terrible it was. Not this most recent trade deadline, but the trade deadline beforehand. Brad Treliving acquired Carlo for a former first-round pick and a first-round pick, and has now, they have now gotten 1 year and change of service out of Brandon Carlo, in which he posted negative WAR according to Evolving Hockey, and then
Apparently
they moved him.
He was really injured.
Yeah, and I think there's value in trying it out. Like, I'm not saying the Blues were wrong to get him, especially for 2/3, but I just want to congratulate Brad Treliving for turning 2 firsts into 2/3. That is the kind of general management and experience that you cannot easily find.
Yeah.
And, we can talk about John Chayka, the Wendy's guy, but I mean, the bar is so low in Toronto right now.
Mm-hmm. We alluded to it, but honestly, Ottawa moving that 9th pick that they got in the Brady Tkachuk deal, or as part of that, and then swapping that over to San Jose to pick up William Eklund, reuniting him with Fabian Zetterlund, excuse me, but also freeing up San Jose to use that to get Keaton Verhoff, which then also opened up to take the 2nd overall pick and use it to pick Ivar Stenberg, really setting up San Jose for a bright future ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about San Jose's draft in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We did touch on the Eklund swap last time. I think we still look at that as positive use of those assets.
Did you mention Fabian Zetterlund being so excited about Eklund coming to the team that he said he could not only live with him, but if he didn't have room, he could sleep in his bed?
I did not, because I had not heard that when we went to record last time, but I have heard it since, and
so funny.
I mean, San Jose is the sleepover team, right? So it makes sense.
Right. Now Ottawa's going to be the sleepover team.
The San Jose bed bobblehead collection is one of the best gimmick items that the NHL has ever seen. It's fantastic.
It is really good.
If you don't know what we're talking about, folks, there was a moment in the first season for Macklin Celebrini. I think was it
Smith and
Will Smith? Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
Celebrini and Smith who were roommates, were told they could have whatever they wanted after a good performance. They asked for Tyler Toffoli to come to their hotel room, and they put a picture up of it, and they made bobbleheads out of that, where they were all in hotel beds, and Toffoli's in like the extra bed you can get, like the
rolling cot.
Yeah, the rolling cot. It's so funny.
No way.
That's why
they made that poor man sleep on a cot.
Mm-hmm. But that's why they brought Toffoli onto that team, right? To be the dad for a lot of these kids.
Yeah. And
it so far seems to be working. They seem to have excellent work ethic, everything you could want out of young players in San Jose so far. Mm-hmm. I think for me, the big pick, the big swap was Dorofeyev moving to New York, getting an $11 million deal. It's very clear Vegas did not think he was worth that kind of money, and probably thinks he's a product of Jack Eichel. But as SJ has pointed out, Vegas has developed one player, and they just dumped him.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. The lone player that Vegas has drafted, developed, and had and played an impactful part on the team, and they dump him as a 25-year-old is just fascinating. I agree that Dorofeyev is probably not going to put up those kind of numbers in New York. He just isn't going to be playing with the same caliber of players. I don't necessarily think he's worth $11 million, but then I also haven't really adjusted to the fact that everybody has salary cap space right now, and there are no players available.
I think that Dorofeyev, even with the cap go up, is probably not really an $11 million player. He's probably more like an $8-9 million player. But Chris Drury is bad at his job, and the Rangers are desperate to make it look like they're doing something. which is why they sent 2 firsts and a third back, an unprotected first round pick from 2028. So if you are betting that the Rangers are going to be bad in 2 years, that
That's
could
a
be a
good bet.
really good haul for Vegas.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
The other one that I want to point out as a really good masterclass, by the way, in asset management, is the Bruins flipping JJ Peterka to Boston for 2 firsts. This year's
You
number
mean
23.
wait? You just said the
Utah flipping into
Bruins.
Boston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Utah
Yeah.
flipping him.
Sorry.
that was another
They
one I
didn't-
was
yeah.
thinking of as well, just because when you think of players who would be worth 2 first-round picks, I don't think of JJ Peterka. So
No.
potentially a steep price for Boston to pay, but they must really believe that they're going to be good with him in the lineup for the next 2 years. And if you're Utah, that's, you just kind of hope that Boston isn't. And no matter what, that's still 2 firsts.
So there's a couple.
They
There's a
didn't
couple.
trade the Boston first, right? Was it? Did they trade a Boston first?
The 2026 pick was the 23rd overall,
Okay.
which I believe was Boston's pick.
Okay.
And the 2028 first is Florida's.
Oh, okay.
So that could be anything. Florida is a big question mark for me.
Mm-hmm.
They could
What
be.
do you mean? They totally fixed their goaltending today.
Oh God.
They're all set. 3rd Stanley Cup just around the corner, baby. Jacob Markstrom.
It could be. It could be. But
He's a
no,
mystery box.
I did want to highlight again asset management with JJ Peterka.
Mm-hmm.
They moved out 2 players, one of whom was a 2nd round pick, one of whom was a late draftee that they had acquired in a long ago when they moved Nick Bukestad to Edmonton. That's how they got Mikey. That's how they got. It was Mikey Kesselring that they threw in with that. So basically, turned a long ago free agent, guy they got back and a 2nd into 2 firsts. That's again smart asset management. One of the things we've seen is that teams are no longer valuing first round picks as heavily as they used to, especially if they think those first round picks are falling outside of the top 5 or 10. Don Lucian of The Athletic did an article where he looked at the value being assigned to first round picks under the current RFA system, so the first 7 years, basically until the player is 25, and found that the value has changed significantly over the last 10 years. They lasted this exercise, I think, in 2020. And what he found is that as NHL teams have gotten better at evaluating talent and drafting quote unquote, correctly, the top 10 picks have become far more valuable, the top 3 especially becoming far more valuable, and everything else has become less valuable as you simply do not find as many late round steals as we used to.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like teams have found similar and are starting to execute on that, combined with the fact that this draft class is not considered to be super duper great. And you have a recipe for a lot of first round picks, which is what we saw for one reason or another. Of the 32 first round picks in the 2026 entry draft, 18 of them moved, some of them multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Yeah, that
There's
really tells you that teams don't see the same value that they did even 3 years ago.
There's also just a whole lot of pressure to make trades right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're making trades, you're right. At this point, you want impact players, and if you want impact players, you gotta trade first round picks, because there's just not a lot of value outside that. So
This is probably also the ramifications of the Golden Knights going on their 3rd trip to the finals since they joined the league less than 10 years ago, and their very mercenary cavalier attitude towards prospects and picks. the NHL remains a copycat league, and I think it's a lot easier for most GMs to try to build by flipping a bunch of firsts and acquiring those impact players than it is to do it the way Carolina did, which is slow, steady, careful, analytically. Yes, you've made some big trades, most notably the Mikko Rantanen acquisition and then moving him out when it was clear he wasn't going to stick around. A smart free agent signing, but you cannot call the way that Carolina did it quick. It took them years to get this franchise to the point of their second Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did want to talk about Markstrom today. So today, Florida acquires Jacob Markstrom and Angus Crookshank from the Devils for Evan Rodriguez, Jesper Boqvist, and Ben Steeves, whoever that is. No picks moving around, just players. What Florida also acquired Akira Schmid from the Golden Knights for a third rounder in 2028.
Basically free.
Yeah. Florida does not care about that pick.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Zito does not care if he makes any picks the next 3 years.
No. Certainly not a third round pick in 2028.
I like Evan Rodriguez as a pickup for the Devils. He's a good bottom six guy, center. Jesper Boqvist is whatever. Angus Crookshank is whatever. How do we feel about Florida pinning their hopes on one-time Florida draft pick Jacob Markstrom?
So what I had heard was Bob absolutely refused to move on his ask with Florida, which is the bold strategy. We'll see how that works out for him. So they decided to replace him. And I mean, it's tough out there if you want goalies, but unlike some GMs to the far north, Bill Zito is not one to rest on his laurels in this situation. And everyone's kind of calling this a win-win trade. I think that's really interesting. I mean, Jacob Markstrom was terrible for the Devils this year. But I mean, he's kind of on and off, so maybe he has a real on year. You know, it's not a bad bet. The Devils, I think he's certainly going to be a little more insulated on the Panthers than he was on the Devils. But he's going to give up some stinkers. And as long as they make it to the playoffs, I don't care.
I mean, you know how else let in a lot of stinkers during the regular season over the last few years is Sergei Bobrovsky.
Yeah, Bob. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like I said, they don't care as long as he's good in the playoffs. I mean, Schmid, I guess he's an okay backup. He's not like good. Yeah.
Trevor, without looking, you know, Jacob Markstrom was a Florida Panthers pick in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
But the pick was not originally Florida's. Do you know what team it belonged to?
Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be a tough one. 2008, huh?
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
If you would think of a team that would be least likely to trade with Florida, it would be that team.
Tampa Bay?
Correct.
Oh, swish.
Do you know what player they traded for? Which player kicks off the Jacob Markstrom trade tree?
Oh my goodness. Who would have been on that roster?
Some real remember some guys here.
No, it would be too late for one of the Prospels or Finney Prospel.
1,092 NHL games.
Ooh.
1,638 penalty minutes.
No, it'd be too late for him too. Oh no.
Drafted by Tampa, 3rd overall, 1993.
Oh, Chris Gratton?
Chris Gratton. That's right.
Yes! That was the name ringing in my head. I'm like, no, that's too late for Chris Gratton. I didn't realize he was still playing by then.
Yeah, that was a late career move for him. He would play part of 2 seasons and then get traded to Columbus to end his career, 6 games with the Blue Jackets. So that's what kicks off the Jacob Markstrom trade tree, and that is a man who has traveled both as a pick and as a player.
Yeah.
Jacob Markstrom, I'm sure, was drafted to be the goaltender of the future in Sunrise. And now they finally got that. The future is here. They're going to finally win all these Stanley Cups. And oh, wait, no, they already did that. But no, I mean, really, Florida's just running back New Jersey's goaltending tandem from a few years ago when New Jersey had a decent little playoff run. I've always said this about Jacob Markstrom because I got a few years watching him up close and personal. You gotta know when to pull him. And by that, I mean you give him 3, maybe 4 games in a row before you give him a break. You can't keep playing him more than that because he will turn into a rolling dumpster. During those 3 to 4 games, he'll be incredible. He might give up a goal on the first shot, but he'll be incredible. And as soon as he gets a little overtired, then it just falls apart. But, I mean, maybe it might have to be every 2 or 3 games now, considering he's, 36, 37? If he was drafted in 08, yeah. It might be time, but, but also the funny thing is Markstrom was traded before he could really get started in Florida. He was traded to Vancouver as part of the Roberto Luongo trade, and those two finally get to be reunited after all this time. So, who knows, maybe some magical work there. Personally speaking, I hope not. But
43 games with the Florida Panthers for Jacob Markstrom already in his career.
Mm-hmm. Granted, that's over 3 seasons?
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the boy auction. Actually, one more thing.
Oh, one more thing.
Where does Bob land? Is it Toronto or is it Vegas?
So, I think Vegas.
And they're going to trade Aiden Hill to Toronto, right?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, they're definitely
like
trading Hill. Like, there's no way Hill is a Golden Knight next year or next season. It'd be very funny if he signed in, like, New Jersey.
That would be funny.
I would not be utterly shocked if he decided to go to Edmonton, although I can't imagine he he living in Florida for as long as he did and then having to move to Edmonton. It's just cold, man. It's just cold there in the winter. I don't know.
He's going to go sign in Winnipeg because Winnipeg's going to need a new goalie to replace Connor Hellebuck after Hellebuck gets traded somewhere.
I mean, there is not a snowball's chance in hell.
Yeah, I mean,
and of
Bob's
him
also
signing in Winnipeg, but
I think
we're not done with the goalie movement this summer. That's for sure.
I think one of the reasons Russians love living in Florida is because they're from Russia.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fucking cold in Russia.
Yeah, really fucking cold. There's one warm-ish city in Russia, and it's hosted the Winter Olympics. Think about that.
Makes you wonder what Ilya Bryzgalov would have said if he ever got to play in Florida for a long period of time.
So warm here, I likes it.
I mean, that is the guy who once said Winnipeg was perfectly fine, right? Or am I misremembering? Yes. Yeah.
No,
See?
that's definitely not what he said. All right, let's talk about the boy. Let's talk about the draft. Toronto picks Gavin McKenna first overall. No surprise.
Heard Justin Bieber picked him.
Holy fuck!
I don't know because I was asleep, but
oh my god, it was horrible.
I'm sad I missed out on that.
I don't know how Justin Bieber is such a successful, popular music artist and also such a giant charisma vacuum at the same time?
I don't know.
Did you see any coverage of
know.
it?
I didn't. I didn't see any video or anything. I only heard it described on some podcasts, and it sounded cringy.
So, first of all, as they were doing the big who's it going to be montage, they had the live feeds of McKenna and Stenberry up there. And while that was happening, Matt Sundin called Gavin McKenna to confirm he was the pick. So he takes the call and he just starts saying, "Thank you so much, sir." Like right on live television. So there was no suspense.
I heard everybody knew it was going to be Justin Bieber too. Like there was no surprises anywhere.
The NHL said they're going to have an A-list celebrity. Everyone went, "Oh, it's Bieber," because he's a big Leafs fan. They confirmed it. The NHL confirmed that he was in the building beforehand.
Yeah.
So Bieber comes up. He walks past all the families, starts hitting on the good-looking sisters of many of the players. Gets up there, says, "Yo, McKenna, you're a Maple Leaf," or something like that. They played a video of Austin Matthews welcoming him where it looked like someone was holding a gun on Matthews from off screen. That's about how much excitement he put into it.
That sounds like the Austin Matthews amount of charisma you would expect, though.
Yeah. And then after McKenna got his jersey and took the picture with Gary and all that stuff, they took them to what's replaced the boy closet.
Oh, what did they do to replace the boy closet? I'm so excited.
They had a coach set with a virtual backdrop that they filled with pictures of the player. So like pictures of them playing hockey when they were kids, like youth pictures.
Oh,
so
okay.
I can only call
cute.
this the boy casting coach.
Oh no.
So we're out of the boy closet and into the boy casting coach. They sit Gavin McKenna down to give this first interview with a Sportsnet personality. And guess what? Justin Bieber stays. He sits right next to Gavin McKenna and gets interviewed at the same time.
That's terrible.
Oh, no.
This is the biggest moment, like the accomplishment of his life, and he has to share it with Justin Bieber.
And the second thing they ask McKenna is, "What's it like having Justin Bieber here?" And you could see he's just like, "Oh yeah, it's real great. It's good." And then they go, "Did you know Bieber was going to be here?" And he goes, "Yeah." So
what a show! Oh, the NHL.
It was
they
incredible.
Always deliver.
It was so bad. I will say, before we jump into broadcast notes, Sportsnet had Matthew Schaefer as their special correspondent during the night. That kid has charisma to spare. He could walk right into a role with Sportsnet right now if he wanted to. Dang. He was funny. He was legitimately funny.
Wow.
They opened up chatting with him, and they asked how his year went and congratulated him on the Calder and all that. And then they said, "So you're living with Matt Martin right now?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm living with Matt. I've got a room, rent free. I hope he's not watching because I'm staying until I'm 30.
Oh,
yeah, he was just good. He got a little too broy with some of the guys he knew, but whatever. He's got charisma to spare. Caleb Malhotra to the Canucks. How you feeling about that, Trevor?
Fine, I guess. Like, I can understand maybe the apprehension of that pick because of the whole coach is my dad kind of thing. But I mean, the kid was speculated to be a top 3 pick for a reason. And I would imagine that there'll be enough professionalism to not have that be an issue. And obviously the team doesn't think it's an issue or else they wouldn't have drafted him. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
He is, I believe, slated to go back to college next year anyway, so not even need to worry about it. But I mean, it's fine. It's cool.
Yeah, he's committed to one of the Boston schools, I think.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
We
I mean,
can check.
admittedly, I have fallen off on prospect watching and kind of men's hockey in general this past season. So
Given
I,
how
yeah, basically,
the year
you
went,
can,
you probably should have been doing more prospect watching.
yeah, but see, that involves watching men's hockey. Even if it's boys, like still, I don't know, man. Like, for the most part, you can tell me how a prospect's going to be like, all right, cool, sounds good. So, I will be excited for the day he laces up the skates for in the blue and green of the Vancouver Canucks, or maybe by that point the black, red, and yellow. We'll see.
I think he was the consensus best player available, and I don't think it's the wrong choice to take the consensus best player available.
Mm-hmm.
Was he on the Bulldogs when we watched them last year, SJ?
Malhotra?
I don't think he was.
I
No,
don't
he wasn't.
think so.
No,
Yeah, I
he
certainly don't
played.
remember him.
He played in the BCHL last year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, too bad. Too bad. We could have seen more high-level picks. Was O'Brien on that team?
I don't think so.
I don't remember. There was some player that was on that team. We'd have to look.
We definitely saw like Nick Lardis.
Yeah, definitely.
He was the standout of that game.
He scored a lot.
He
of
was like
goals.
stunting on the Ottawa 67.
San Jose picks up Ivar Stenberg. They get Keaton Verhoff at 9 and Ryan Lynn at 21. So Stenberg is going to replace Ekholm in their top. Eklund, yes, correct. Sorry. E5 in their top 6. I think he gets that's an upgrade by all accounts. Verhoff and Lynn look like they will both join Dickinson as part of the kind of core of the San Jose defense. Really good night for San Jose, if you ask me.
Yeah, they certainly made moves to get themselves a draft haul. It's fine. I'm not mad. I'm not jealous.
Mike Greer, once again, impressed me. He looked at where his draft position was, recognized that he was going to end up with a surplus winger, and then moved that winger in advance so that he could draft to a position of great need and ensure, knowing there was going to be at least one really good defender available at 9. That's really good GMing. And once again, Greer seems to not be making any mistakes as they set this team up. They've already almost made the playoffs, and so much of their help isn't really there yet. Like they don't have Misa full time. They'll have Stenberg next year. They may have Misa next year. Like Dickinson should be a little bit better, and then they're probably a year away from getting their hands on Verhoff.
Yeah, Verhoff is is playing in the NCAA next year. Yeah. So he probably does like the 10-game thing at the end of the year.
Yeah. San Jose is not only set up to look good, I think they're set up to look very scary in a very short period of time. The amount of talent on that team now continues to just get better and better for San Jose.
I'm not mad.
Nope, not at all.
Everything's fine.
Well, I did want to talk about Chase Reed. So Buffalo takes Daxon Rudolph. New York takes Albert Smith. Calgary. Schmitz. Calgary.
Schmitz.
Well, there's no H in there. We don't respect.
It's not. He's like Latvian. It's got the thingy over the S.
Listen, we don't respect Latvia here because they goalie Canada too much.
He's not a goalie. Leave him alone.
Benjamin, can I make some shivers run down your spine for a hot minute and say Christos Gudlevskis?
No, thank you. Calgary is considered to reach a little bit, taking Carson Carrolls at 6.
I heard he skipped the draft so that he could work on his family's ranch. So he pulled a Brady Martin. So they had to take him because Calgary.
Yeah, I think he tried to force his way onto Calgary by doing that.
Yeah.
And Chase Reed. So Chase Reed, who was maybe 6 weeks ago considered the best defender in the draft, falls to 7. And I think it is fair to say that as a position Seattle truly needs.
Yes, so they were always expected to take a defender this draft. We are really thin in high-level defense prospects. Our other best defense prospect is Blake Fiddler that we took in the second round, high in the second round last year. And I mean, Fiddler is still probably a couple of years away. He's going to be playing in the University of Denver this season. I wouldn't be shocked if he plays 2 years in Denver before he tries to make the jump. So we needed better defense prospects, and Seattle was incredibly lucky. I was thrilled when I woke up and saw that Seattle got Chase Reed. I'm not going to pretend to be a prospect knower, but everyone was talking about him in pretty glowing terms. So I would definitely prefer Reed over Daxon Rudolph, who I've seen play in person. I think Buffalo really stretched to take Rudolph at 4. So I'm super excited for this. And Seattle, just speaking here, as for the Seattle fan base, we needed a win. The Seattle fan base really got their teeth kicked in, I think, when Jason Robertson said, "I wouldn't play for you for $125 million." That's harsh, man. We love this city, and it's a great place to live. But, he was saying very honestly, I think, to Botterill and the Kraken ownership, and by that I mean Holloway, Bruckheimer, Leiweke, you are not ready to contend. Go away. So I don't think it was pointedly about. I don't think it was about Seattle as a city or as a fan base. He also turned down St. Louis. In the end, they would have been trading that pick to get him, but instead we got the pick. And I think having Reed, and it's not just the 7th pick. It's it's an actual player that we like. And I'm really hoping that it'll maybe cause that whole saga might cause the Kraken ownership to reevaluate where we are as a franchise. So long term, Seattle, I guess this is a bit of a tangent, but Seattle is Ron Francis left a mess in Seattle. A perpetual mushy middle team, not a contender, made the playoffs one year, really overperformed that year. I think they gave a unjustifiably naive ownership group reason to think that Seattle was better positioned than they really were. And they've kind of compounded the mistakes since then by attempting to contend every year without the kind of asset haul and player, and just player management that Vegas had managed. So but the plan hadn't changed. But I think they did recognize this year that what Seattle needed was true superstar talent, perhaps because it was so fucking obvious. And they thought, well, let's go get some. That's not wrong. But we are in an age, a new age of player empowerment. And players like Jason Robertson are fully able to assess Seattle and say, well, no, I only have so much career. I want to go somewhere I know I can win. And that's a hard message to hear. I'm really curious to see how this changes the plan. Because Chase Reed, they've really rolled out the red carpet for him. You know, he threw out the first pitch at the Mariners game yesterday. You know, Josh Naylor welcoming him to the city, which is, I thought that was a very cleansing moment.
Of course it'd be Naylor to do it.
Of course, he's
Canadian boy.
He's like the welcoming committee for Seattle sports. Like, he was super cool with the Torrent as well, the Torrent players as well. So I would love to see the Kraken accept where they are a little bit more and stop trying to contend this year. There's only 1 year left on Vince Dunn and Jared McCann's contracts. Those are two extremely good players, but they are about to turn 30, both of them. And they only have so much career left. So I frankly can't see them extending. You know, maybe they offer them extensions this summer. Maybe they accept. I don't see it. And if they say no, the team isn't any better going into the fall right now. Like, there's no reason to think that this is a team that's going to make the playoffs. So are you're either going to trade them this summer or at the deadline. I would like to see them. I love those players. I love them both. I have their jerseys. I would like to see them traded this summer. Have the team take call it a retooling year. I don't care. A year, 2 years, where give Shane Wright some actual minutes. Maybe, you know, that's all he wants. He would not have a trade request in if he was playing real minutes on the team. Like, see if he can actually step up and do something. Give Yanni Newman an actual shot. Let freaking Jagger Firkus play some minutes. Play the kids. I think that the fan base could rally around that. Like, we have good prospects in the system. We don't have a superstar in the system. Some lottery luck. Next year, maybe we come out with Landon DuPont, my favorite little guy, who is totally understandably betraying me and going to Michigan State next year, abandoning me. It's fine. I'm not mad. I should wrap this up. This is what I want. I want them to take a couple of years, step back, and develop their prospects at the end. Give young players real NHL time. Maybe you bottom out. Maybe you're shit for a year, but they're going to be shit anyway. With the trajectory they're on, embrace it and get a freaking haul for McCann and Dunn, who are both very good players. Yeah. All right, I'm done.
I wonder if next year we're going to see the same treatment of draft picks. It'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you. I think Seattle has two very good assets that aren't going to be part of any long-term plan. It's time to move on.
It's time to move on.
A few other things from my notes. New Jersey reached in taking Swedish center Alexander Command at 12. He was probably going to go maybe 15, 16 spots later, but I think he's got a great name. Alexander Command is just a fabulous name. St. Louis took Tynan Lawrence and Maddox Dejanay with the two picks they retained after picking up Mason McTavish. Calgary had two picks as well. We talked about Carson Carrolls. They also picked up Adam Novotny. Sorry, not Adam Novotny. Jack Hextall out of the USHL. Adam Novotny was Vancouver's other pick in the pick they received in the Quinn Hughes move. Ottawa takes Jackson Cover, the first ever player out of the Cayman Islands, considered a bit of a stretch as well. He learned to play roller hockey and then transitioned to the ice.
Cool.
Montreal traded up to take Gleb Pugachev, who several scouts consider to be the best power forward in the class, and it was Pronman said he probably would have gone top 10 if he wasn't Russian.
You know, he's already threatened to fight Tom Wilson.
I know Habs fans are already in love with him. I would not be surprised to see Gleb jerseys next year. Not Pugachev, Gleb.
That is a Star Wars ass name if I ever heard one.
I mean, I kind of want a Gleb 26 jersey.
Heck yeah, do it. Get it for a Star Wars night. Why not?
That's right. I don't will ever see Gleb Pugachev on the Habs. I have a suspicion he ends up being moved for a player, but you never know.
He can fight Tom Wilson, whichever team he ends up on.
What if he ends up on Washington?
Tom Wilson won't be on
practice.
Washington. It's just going to happen. They need to be They need to be away from each other.
Are you saying that Montreal is going to trade Gleb Pugachev to Washington for Tom Wilson?
No. I'm just saying somewhere down the line, maybe they move Gleb to another team, and that team swaps him to Washington.
I wouldn't hate Tom Wilson on the Habs. If he's on your team, you never have to play against him.
Tom Wilson is a player that you hate everywhere except for on your team, and then you love him.
Yeah.
But it's like a kind of a sick, twisted love.
With all the moves Washington made this year, it won't happen this year because they think they're a contender.
Yeah,
and
we
they
should
aren't.
talk about the Caps. They did some shit.
Yeah.
Acquiring
acquiring and signing Alex Tuck to an $84 million deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have the money left? How much money do they have left?
I think Ovechkin's coming back.
I think they did this to convince him to come back for 1 year.
Yeah.
They still have $14 million in cap space.
How many roster spots do they have open, though?
2.
Who cares?
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. They could do some damage. Cap go up?
Yeah. Tuck, Dubois, Kyrou, Wilson, Strome, Protas.
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
That could be a playoff team.
Back end.
What do they have on the back end?
Chikrin, Fairbury, Matt Roy, Rizal Wall. I don't know.
It's Matt Roy. And he's fine.
He's fine. $6 million fine?
Matt Roy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a top 4 player.
Okay. Rasmus Sandin, Timothy Liljegren, Cole Hudson. Yeah.
Cole Hudson I like. That third pair is rough.
Timothy Liljegren is bad.
Yeah, Liljegren and Sandin are not good. But Cole Hudson, if he becomes something, I think he could hold down a third pair spot this year.
The general consensus from prospect watchers is that he has good skills, but does not have the same level of creativity as his brother because he's bigger. So he can play bigger, but he's not particularly big. I think he's 6 foot even or 5'11". I'm
not saying he's going to be Lane Hudson. I'm saying he could hold down a sheltered third pair.
Yeah, no,
spot.
I understand. And so either this works.
They got good goaltending too between Lindgren and Thompson.
Yeah,
I think that's a playoff team.
It should be, but I could also see a world where this whole thing explodes horribly.
Well, that's fine with me.
Yeah, it's fine either way.
I would like to see it. I would like to see that team on the ice next season.
Well, you are going to. They're
anyway,
pretty much done.
It's only freaking June. It's not like they're definitely done.
They probably are mostly done. They're big moves, but you never know.
You never know.
But
don't they have Ryan Leonard on that team?
Yes.
Yeah, I like Ryan Leonard. He's a good player.
He is a good player. Washington could do some stuff. They certainly think they can. I am, although I understand they've spent a lot of assets and money to get these players, I get it more than I get what St. Louis is doing. What St. Louis is doing is weird.
Yeah, what St. Louis is doing is weird. Also, I think Spencer Carberry is a good coach.
He is. Yeah,
So,
definitely.
and I have no idea what's up with St. Louis.
The only other storyline I have written down, other than two. So Alberts Schmitz was spoken of by multiple draft experts as being the most NHL ready player of the defenders, but with a higher floor but a lower ceiling.
Right.
This is why a lot of prospect guys expected him to go kind of 9-10 rather than 4th or 5th. New York taking him seems to telegraph that New York believes they are a playoff team next year and are looking for immediate help, which jives with the JJ Peterka acquisition. Sorry, not JJ Peterka. I'm getting everything confused with the
Pavel
Dorofeyev
Yeah.
acquisition.
Yes.
So I just think Chris Drury's bad.
Yep.
Yes.
I do wonder if there might now also be added pressure from up above after the Knicks won a championship to be from Dolan to be like, hey, these guys did it. Your turn.
Yeah. Aren't they also still trying to move Trocheck?
Yeah.
Like
Hilarious.
that is not a finished team. I don't want to look at the Rangers right now. I want to look at them in September.
I concur, but I wonder how, if they couldn't move Trocheck before the draft with the amount of stuff that was flying around, I truly wonder how much interest there is in the player across the league.
Mm-hmm.
He has a 10-team no trade list, so that might even narrow things a little bit more. Even if they're able to move Trocheck, they still have JT Miller and Mika Zibanejad, who are 33.
Mm-hmm.
They are relying on Will Borgen and Vladislav Gavrikov on their back end.
Mm-hmm.
And Alexei Lafreniere remains remains vastly underperforming even his contract now. And he has a no trade list that kicks in next season.
That's wild, man. I can't believe they gave him that contract.
It's also just hilarious to me that they're trying so hard to move Trocheck when, like, Trocheck's the reason Miller came back to New York in the first place. So, hey, let's go trade this guy who got us our captain and is like our captain's best friend. I mean, GT Miller's already a giant piss baby. If you get rid of his buddy, he's going to become even more of a giant piss baby that now you're stuck with for another 4 or 5 years with a C on his chest.
I simply do not believe that Chris Drury is evaluating his team from a piss baby perspective. Indeed, I can barely see what perspective Chris Drury is using to evaluate his team.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
Funny for the rest of us.
Yeah,
my neighbor is running a leaf blower. I apologize, John.
I can't hear it at all.
I can hear it a little bit, but that's why John has fancy editing tools. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think they could have really, really used this draft to reset. They could have gotten very good assets for Lafreniere. They could have likely taken a lesser offer for. I think so. I think someone out there is willing to buy
that contract.
They'd have to retain a little bit, but I think if you could get him for $6 million,
so maybe for 6.
And that's only 1.5 million retained in a cap go up year.
Yeah.
I think they could have gotten significant asset. I bet you Montreal would have paid for it just to get the French guy home.
Is he like, do they need help on the second wing, on the second line wing? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they needed a center.
They really need a center, but they also need someone on the wing.
Who do you want them to get as a center, second line center? Who's on your wish list?
Hischier?
Hischier. I don't think you're getting Hischier.
I don't think I'm getting Hischier.
No, I don't think.
I'd take Dylan Larkin, but he's not interested. He's not interested in
Canada.
No.
He should be. I mean, Dylan Larkin should be interested in the Habs.
Anybody who wants to win should be interested in the Habs.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, they're a team on the rise.
If Montreal got Lafreniere and it worked out, I think that they move Zurovsky for him, and he takes the spot Zurovsky was going to slot into.
Mm.
And I think that's why he works out as a left winger for them. And then you can play him and whoever you get for 2-line center, and either your choice of Demidov or Slavkovsky on the second line.
Mm. Well, Lafreniere isn't stuck behind Artemi Panarin anymore.
No. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Maybe he'll have a better year.
Maybe that's why they got Dorofeyev. They needed to get a new high-scoring Russian player back on the team.
Could be.
Does Dorofeyev play left wing or right wing? Isn't he right wing?
He's listed as both on Puckpedia, but I
doesn't
think
mean he actually plays both.
I think he's mostly right.
Okay. Well, that's good for Laugh.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Oh, the other storyline I noted is that Pittsburgh got both Ruck twins trading up in the second to pick up Marcus.
Yes.
So
very interesting.
They are entwinned in Pittsburgh.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun story.
You just kind of hope Sid holds on long enough so they can do the Ruck twins plus Crosby.
It's not going to happen. They're going back to
college.
No, so they're staying in Medicine Hat next year.
What?
Yeah, they're doing another year in Medicine Hat, and people are saying it's because they're small.
It could be.
They're tall, but they don't have big frames. So they're doing another year in Medicine Hat, and then they're going to college. And also, there's also some speculation that they really waited too long in the college recruiting calendar. And because they insist on going together, they couldn't find a spot in this season. And then they're going to, I think they committed to North Dakota for not this season, but next season. So it's going to be at least 2 years before they probably go to the A. So I think they're at least 3 years away from the NHL.
Yeah, that's fair. Crosby probably will still be here, though.
Is he? How old is he? Is he immortal?
Yeah.
I'm just checking. Yeah.
He turns 39 in August.
Bro,
because remember,
he's
number 80. He's number 87 because he was born on 8/7/87. So he'll turn 39 this year.
I think he's going to retire. I don't think he's going to pull a Brent Burns and try to play forever.
I don't know. I think he loves hockey that much. If he feels good.
But he doesn't have to keep playing. He can step right into a front office role. Somebody will hire him.
I don't think that's the way Sidney Crosby thinks. I
the
really
year
don't.
that Sidney Crosby averages under a point per game is the year he retires because he ain't hitting that. He hasn't hit that yet.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, maybe he still feels good. I don't know. Maybe one more concussion and he hangs it up. I don't like to say it, but
injury.
I think it's gonna be an injury, and it's very likely to be a concussion.
Obviously, if he gets another concussion, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
He's played through. This year was his worst game in a long time, or worst season in a long time, with 68. 68 games played, but still 74 points. He's still a really good hockey player.
Well, and I feel like it's worth pointing out that the whole reason he missed time is because of an injury he sustained at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, man. The Olympics were freaking brutal, man.
And if he hadn't sustained that injury, I think we have a different gold medal game as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
could be.
The other thing is Crosby is only 160 points away from number 2 of all time in scoring.
Dang.
Can you tell me, Trevor or SJ, can you tell me the 6 players ahead of him, and I will spot you Wayne Gretzky?
Mark Messier, Jaromir Jagr, Gordie Howe, Ron Francis. I got one left, right?
You do.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is going to be a problem now. Who could be ahead of him?
Think Detroit?
Stevie Y?
Yzerman?
No.
Oh.
Think LA. Detroit and LA.
No, it can't be Luke Robitaille then, right? No. Who else?
The greatest
Oh,
player.
Marcel Dion. Duh.
The greatest player to never win a Stanley Cup. Marcel Dion. Yep.
The greatest player to what?
Never win a cup.
Stanley Cup. Because everyone else I'm looking at on this list won at least one cup until Joe Thornton. And then, I think everyone after him won. Did Adam Oates ever win a cup?
That's a good question. I don't think he did.
Let me look. No, he definitely didn't.
Nope.
Yeah, Doug Gilmour did. He won Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
Dale Hawerchuk never won a cup.
No.
He played for Winnipeg and then Buffalo.
Yeah. And then a cup of coffee in Philadelphia.
Yeah. So, like, most of the guys on this list, Matt Sundin never won a cup because he played for Toronto.
Well, he can rectify that now.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We should wrap this up.
We should wrap.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks. Well, this has been the third season of the Neutral Zone Hotel, which we will be back during the off season for a couple of who knows what episodes. We'll come up with something, probably one a month up until we start up our usual schedule in September. I think I'll also put together all of the Alan Eagleson stuff into one episode and drop that on the podcast just for future archival listening. Mm-hmm. And until next season, if you want to hang out with us and get our takes on any of the picks, the free agent frenzy, which I think it's James Duthie just said it'll be the most money ever spent on the worst players in NHL history. So that'll be fun. And you can hang out with us on our Discord, neutralzonehotel.com/Discord. We would really love to have you there. So until next time, folks, this has been us, the Neutral Zone Hotel, written, hosted, and produced by us, the Neutral Zone Hotel crew. We're online at neutralzonehotel.com. We're on Bluesky at neutralzonehotel.bsky.social and YouTube at /neutralzonehotel. Whatever you're listening on, thumbs up, 5 stars, smash the like button, do whatever it is you need to do to say you're having a great time. Tell a friend, because we would love to have them hang out with us too. We will be back next season. Take care.